Hi, welcome to the comparison of the brand new Hugo Boss Scent Elixir and one of my favorites from 2023, Hugo Boss Scent Magnetic. With me for this comparison, I have the one and only Sandra Solomon Fragrance.
Hi, everyone.
So this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
This will be interesting for sure and also very, very hard. The Scent Magnetic is a compliment getter. This thing just makes me smile. And I recently did a review of the Scent Elixir. I'm gonna link to that review above, so please do check it out. This thing impressed me a lot. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So let's begin with the Scent Magnetic. Please do spray it on. Some of the notes in Hugo Boss Scent Magnetic are Maninka, bran and black vanilla husk. So what do you think?
This is definitely the scent fragrance. It has that wonderful DNA that you find in the scent fragrances. The Maninka is of course there, and it's a spicy, aromatic and sweet fragrance that's really likable.
Yeah, this, at least to my nose, opens up in a slightly spicy way and it's quite powdery. Also in the opening you get a hint of that Maninka, which basically brings it a bit of sort of fruity sweetness.
Yes, this is definitely a powdery fragrance, but I would say it's more in the dry down. So in the opening you get this fresh and sparkly kind of powderiness. So I wouldn't say this is an overly powdery scent, even though most people think this is a powdery scent. But I think this is very mass appealing since it also has that spicy side.
When it comes to its powderness, the powderness in here, at least to my nose, is not like, let's say, Valentino Uomo Intense or Dior Homme Intense. The powderness in those is quite rich, thick and sort of a dense. This to me smells like the powderness has layers to it, so it's not a boring or flat kind of powderness, but it's definitely more on the sort of a light and smooth kind of powderness. So to sum up the opening of Hugo Boss Scent Magnetic, it's basically a powdery opening that's slightly spicy, and as it sort of heads into the mid, you get a bit of that fruitiness from the Maninka, and at least to me, that fruitiness has something quite special about it. So let's move on to the dry run of the Scent Magnetic.
Yes.
Please do share your thoughts on it.
And wow, now there is more vanilla in it, and the Maninka is somehow blended with the vanilla, so you get something a bit spicy, fruity, vanillic in a wonderful way.
Yeah. The dry run to me is where that Maninka is coming through in a more intense way. Still, this is not a intense, fruity, sweet kind of scent. But that fruity sweetness of the Maninka really comes through in the dry down. And the dry down is also where you get most of that vanilla. So it's like a vanillic, fruity sweet scent that's also a bit powdery. Everything is sort of on the lighter side of things. So this is not a light kind of scent, but it's definitely on the lighter side of things. Especially if you compare it to some of my other favorite powder fragrances like Dior Homme Intense, Dior Homme Parfum, Valentino Uomo Intense. This is definitely not as heavy and deep as those.
No, this is more of a, I would say maybe a fresh, spicy, aromatic powdery scent.
So let's move on to usage. How do you feel about its versatility? Seasons, occasions, stuff like that.
I actually think this works all year round,
Yeah.
just because it has a bit of depth to it, but it's still not heavy. So you could wear this in the spring and summer, but you can also wear it in the winter. I do also think that it's a very office-friendly fragrance, but it's also a dressed-up fragrance.
Yeah, I completely agree. This is not a light fragrance. It does have a bit of depth to it, but it's definitely not a fragrance that pushes too deep, too heavy, or too much into any direction really. So this is definitely a fragrance I feel you can use throughout the year to pretty much any occasion. Definitely, since this is a compliment getter, use it when you are going out for date night. Just make sure you spray properly. So let's move on to performance. But before I share my thoughts on the performance of the Scent Magnetic, I do want to say that we mainly focus on the scent of these and not the performance. So when it comes to the performance of the Scent Magnetic, at least on my skin, it's definitely above average. So it's not a weak fragrance, but I also don't feel it's a strong fragrance. I would rate the performance of the Scent Magnetic sort of around 6.5 out of 10. I highly recommend spraying a bit more with the Scent Magnetic for a more long-lasting and a bigger scent cloud. So let's move on to the brand new the Scent Elixir, and the opening, please do spray it on. Some of the notes in Hugo Boss Scent Elixir are pimento, lavender absolute and Caledonian sandalwood. So please do share your thoughts on it.
We sprayed on test strips before starting this review, so we should have the dry down.
Yeah.
And that scent has been coming at me since the beginning of this video. And it's a fantastic scent. And when I smell the opening, it's incredible. It's the kind of scent that smells good right from the start. There is something spicy in it, aromatic, definitely something fruity and vanillic, maybe some benzoin or something because it's something creamy over it. I love this.
So the opening to me is definitely intensely spicy. So spiciness often in fragrances can be, when it's super intense and sort of a bright, can be a bit on the sort of a sharp side. I feel that the spiciness here, even though it's super intense, has a fantastic sort of a smoothness to it. And I also feel that the notes list pimento. To me, it's like a blend of different spices. So it feels like a rich kind of spiciness, which is something I enjoy.
Yes, I think that the spiciness is almost a vanillic spiciness, and that's the soft side of it. What I remember from this one is that a couple of days ago we met outside and you had just sprayed this on. And you were walking around in a scent cloud and you say that you felt this enormous spiciness, but I picked up an enormous sandalwood note. I was a bit away from you, and then when we got inside I got that spiciness. So this sort of transformed from outside to inside, and that was incredible.
So just a minute or two after you spray it on, in comes the lavender, and that's when the Scent Elixir starts to get intensely spicy and aromatic. And behind all that spiciness and the lavender, at least to my nose, there's the scent with this sort of a fruity sweetness. It's not a loud kind of fruity sweetness. So here's the thing, there's no mention of any fruity notes or that maninka in the notes, but it's definitely there. I'm definitely picking up on that sort of the scent in here.
Yes.
So to sum up the opening, it's basically intensely spicy and aromatic with a bit of sort of a fruity sweetness to it. Even though it's intensely spicy and aromatic, bright and sort of a shiny, I do feel that there's a fantastic smoothness to it all. So I don't feel that sort of a spiciness and the aromatic side is sort of a sharp in any way. So let's move on to the dry down. Please do share your thoughts on it.
Yes, and exactly as you said, even though this has, I mean, it's a rich scent, it has many layers, it's interesting in so many ways, but it's not sharp in any way. I think that is quite the thing with the scent. The scent,
yeah.
They are all very elegant and very sophisticated, but this has something extra over it.
Yeah.
Still very elegant, still very sophisticated, but this is like, they just took it up a notch.
So as it dries down, at least to me, this turns into a primarily woody scent where the woodiness has a slight hint of sort of a smokiness to it, with a bit of that initial spiciness to it, and it's a bit fruity and a bit sweet. So in a nutshell, beautifully soft woody. This, at least to my nose, is not a loud, super punchy kind of woodiness. That has a bit of that fantastic fruity sweetness that you get in the scent with just a bit of spiciness. I like that a lot. I do want to mention something that I also mentioned in my review, and that is that I think there's a uniqueness to this from the opening through to the dry down. That spicy, intense mix in the opening, there's something unique about it. And I also feel there's a bit of uniqueness to the dry down. This is something I feel will turn heads.
Definitely.
So let's talk about usage. How do you feel about versatility, occasions, seasons, stuff like that?
I mean, the occasion is always right to wear a fantastic fragrance, but I said that the magnetic one is office friendly. This one is also office friendly because it smells so damn good. but I wouldn't waste it in an office. I would wear it to dates, I would wear it for going out, anytime I want to smell attractive to someone. This is an attractive scent, it's a sensual scent. You should use it when you want to be even more attractive.
Yeah, like you mentioned, you can pretty much use this anytime, anywhere, and you will smell good to a lot of people. But I do feel that this is more of a special occasions, going on a date or going out kind of scent. When it comes to seasons, this is definitely more punchy, more loud, and it definitely has more depth to it compared to Magnetic. So I do feel it's perfect for fall, winter, and spring, but I can't wait to try it on summer night outs. How do you feel about seasons?
I think you're right about that. It's a fall, winter, and spring safe fragrance. But yeah, I can definitely see someone wearing this in a summer night out, just because it will make you stand out.
So moving on to performance, the Scent Elixir, at least on my skin, is quite a strong fragrance. I don't think it's beast mode. It's not a crazy room filler kind of scent, but you will definitely get noticed when you spray it on. So it's time, and we've been sniffing like crazy. I knew this would be super hard. I truly enjoy the Scent Magnetic. It just smells so good. But come on, the Scent Elixir is wicked as well. So you first.
Why should I go first?
Which of these do you think is the best fragrance for a man?
Okay.
And why?
I think both are incredible. And I'm gonna cheat.
Wait.
Because the Scent Magnetic is the most wonderful, beautiful scent in the dry down. I absolutely love it. And Elixir is a beautiful, wonderful scent right from the start and even into the dry down. The Scent Elixir is way stronger than Magnetic. But I'm gonna say this. If Magnetic had better performance, if it was more beast mode and if it was stronger, I would have chosen Magnetic because it's such a unique scent. But I mean, the power in Elixir, you can't ignore it. So my number one is Elixir and my almost number one is Magnetic.
Oh wait, we just said that we don't judge based on performance.
No.
So what do you mean?
No, I don't mean performance. What I mean is that Elixir gives you so much of everything and Magnetic gives you this beautiful scent, but it's something not missing, but I just want more. I want it amped up like
basically
Magnetic.
enjoy the sort of more intensity or punch or whatever you want to call it.
Yes, the punch, the intensity.
Okay, so if you are a subscriber, which you are, right? Come on, hit that subscribe right now. Then you know how much I enjoy the Scent Magnetic. The Scent Magnetic is simply a fragrance you cannot go wrong with. If you want to smell good, you spray that thing on. However, I do feel that the Scent Elixir gives me a variation of the scent with this sort of fruity sweetness in a very sort of intensely, boldly and punchy way that I truly enjoy. And this variation with its spiciness, the lavender and that woodiness is something I find quite unique as well. So both smell great for sure. However, the Scent Elixir is the one I would choose if I had to choose between the two. So there you go, both of us chose the Scent Elixir. Now I would love to know which of these you would choose if you could only choose one of them, so make sure you comment. Like this video, I really appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell, make sure you check out Sandra Solomon Fragrance's channel. I'm gonna link to her channel in the description below. Sub to her, sub to me, and I'll see you in the next one.